What's going on, everybody? How's it going? We are here. Happy New Year to everybody. 2026. Can you believe it? We made it. We made it. We made it. Happy New Year. Is it cheating? Roxy, great question. I'm trying to figure that out. So my name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the porn coach, the coach of porn. I'm here to ask the question, is porn cheating? Is it cheating to masturbate while watching strangers have sex on the internet? I think it is. I think porn is cheating. I think if you're in a committed, monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part, and you deviate from that agreement, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, I think you have cheated. Fluff Too Cool for you. How's it going? Long time no see. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I just joined and you're starting it like I was watching a video and I'm here for it. Okay? Bro, I'm right next to my mom. Hello, Mom. How's it going? What does she think? Ask her. Is porn cheating? Yes, it is 100% cheating. You should be committed to one person. Fluff Too Cool. You're doing good. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. I'll be on here for about an hour. About an hour, more or less. And let's get some guests on. You can talk about your experience with pornography, whether you are somebody who enjoys pornography, whether you've been addicted to it, maybe you've been betrayed by somebody who watches pornography. Love to hear what you want to say. And if you want to debate, we can debate as well. I'm here for it. While we wait for the guest queue to form, I'm going to read a chapter from one of my favorite books, The Porn Myth by Matt Fradd. This is chapter 4. There is no difference between porn and naked art. That is the myth that the author is asserting, that is a myth about pornography, that there is no such thing between porn and naked art. And what he says is in 1969, Marvin Miller made $10 million by printing and shipping pornographic books. He had one hard and fast rule for his 50 employees: no free samples. Black market porn is bad for business. My friend got me hooked and I was finally able to quit. Way to go, Sparky Boy. W's in the chat for you. Miller was among a select few in the Los Angeles porn trade doing business in the millions in the 1960s. By the way, if you want to come on here and chat, will you guys tell me if the request button is there? In the 1960s, he claimed that 15% of the people to whom he mailed advertisements bought something from him, an astonishing percentage for mail order. His profits did not come without a personal cost, though. You don't see the request button? Where is it? You sure? Let me know if you see it. There we go. It's there. Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta take this guest. Angel, how's it going?
Good. Are you ready to sit back for a long story?
Maybe. Are you 18 or over?
I'm 17. Is that okay?
Nope. Sorry. All right. His profits did not come without a personal cost, though. In the first several years of his business, he was arrested 30 times on charges of mailing obscene material. In 1968 alone, his legal expenses topped $200,000. His mailed advertisements often contained images from his books, images of naked women in provocative poses, and occasionally some were mailed directly to minors. In court, Miller claimed that his books had redeeming social value, carefully chosen words, as they echoed the 1957 Supreme Court ruling in Roth versus the United States. This case had redefined what was deemed obscene material and therefore protected by First Amendment rights. After the court's decision, pornographers could lace their magazines and books with storylines no matter how thin and claim that their otherwise racy picture books had social value. Still, local communities and law enforcement brought men like Miller to court on obscenity charges. Marvin Miller's legal defense highlights the thin line between pornography and erotica or nude art. Intuition tells many people that there are differences, but trying to pin down those differences has been notoriously difficult for lawmakers and art critics alike. Pornographers often speak of their work as being in the cultural continuum of erotic art. Porn has been around since the beginning of time, they say, and will never go away. They appeal to antiquity, noting that some of the most celebrated works of classic art feature nudity. The Renaissance celebrated this heritage, thus Michelangelo's David is nude, and so are many of his painted figures in the Sistine Chapel. By the way, if you want to come on here and chat, share your story, you're welcome to hit the request button. I'm just reading one chapter, 2 more pages from this book, The Porn Myth, and then I'll get to a guest. Caleb, what's up, man? How's it going? So what's the difference between pornography and naked art? First, they are different in their very definitions. The word pornography contains the Greek root porne, meaning prostitution or prostitute. Like prostitution, pornography has a specific desired end, sexual stimulation in order to produce a completed sexual act. True art is not produced for this purpose, to substitute for a prostitute. True artists aim at capturing their vision of beauty in order that the beautiful might be apprehended and appreciated. A porn director would be puzzled or even disappointed if someone who watched one of his X-rated flicks told him, "The film was beautiful, but it didn't get me off. I didn't find it all that sexually arousing." Michelangelo, on the other hand, would most likely have been disturbed if someone told him that his paintings in the Sistine Chapel did little to arouse wonder, but sure did turn him on. The difference between a pornographer and an artist lies in his intentions. We got porn coaches, I guess. We sure do. 2026. Oh my gosh, you can't even say it's 2025 anymore. It is cheating, as I wasn't told about it, and I also found a gay app on his phone. Essential, I see you there, man. I got like 3 paragraphs left, and I'll bring you on. Gerald Levison, professor of philosophy at the University of Maryland and an expert in aesthetics, says that art and pornography can both induce sexual interest, but pornography is made exclusive for the purpose of causing sexual stimulation. Porn makers intend to bring people into this physiological state that is preluded and prerequisite to release. In other words, the point of porn is masturbation. So what of pornographers who want to peddle their product as something with redeeming artistic value? What of Marvin Miller's mail order business? My kid walked in on my husband. Now my kid asked me if his dad is cheating. That sucks. Sorry to hear that. In 1971, Miller was charged with distributing obscene material, and his case eventually went before the Supreme Court in what would become a landmark decision, Miller versus California. In 1973, Miller lost, and his case was remanded to the California courts. In the process, the Supreme Court redefined what counts as unprotected obscenity. Happy New Year, Danielle! Ironically, the 3-pronged test for obscenity is now called the Miller test. In order for something to be deemed obscene, the following criteria must be met. The average person applying contemporary community standards would find that the work, taken as a whole, appears to prurient interest. 2, the work depicts or describes sexual conduct in a patently offensive way. And 3, the work, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. No doubt the line between pornography and art can be blurry. Some say that the artistic value of porn is in the eye of the beholder. Perhaps it is. But at the end of the day, pornography is not created for the sake of beauty, and true art is not created for the sake of masturbation. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. Let's bring on some guests. Happy New Year to everybody. Good to see you all. W's in the chat. Let's bring Essential on. Hey there, what's going on?
What's good, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. You 18 or over?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Is porn cheating?
Can I answer your question with a question?
You just did?
Well, besides that one, is that okay?
Sure. I guess.
Cool.
I
So,
don't know.
if I imagine myself beating up my wife, would that make me a spouse abuser?
I don't know what that has to do with the question.
So it's using similar logic to the question that we have, in our conversation here. So if I imagine myself beating up my wife, I would definitely be a jerk and I would be a bad person. However, doing that wouldn't then make me a spouse abuser, or at least I would make that argument. And so using parallel logic, when you're watching porn, you are imagining yourself doing sexual relationships with another person. However, that in itself isn't equivalent to actually doing it.
Okay.
So it's wrong, but
are you
I
married?
wouldn't qualify it as cheating.
Are you married?
Me personally, no.
Okay. I don't think that the logic totally applies, and here's why. Because just purely imagining something is different than what we're talking about when using pornography. Because in order to use pornography, you have to go seek out, request, and obtain nude pictures or videos of another person. So there is an action involved.
I see where you're going. However, morally, I would still say it's equivalent because
we can put that aside. We could put that aside. But I just want to point out it's not an apples to apples comparison with what you're bringing in here with the argument that you made.
Well, I think it's a perfect comparison, but if we can just agree to disagree on that. But
Okay.
like I said, I don't think there's a moral difference between, let's say, like you imagining yourself with another person and sleeping with them and opening up a computer screen and then watching it on a computer screen. Like, sure, there's a physical difference, but morally it's the same.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's take your logic then. So let's say that watching porn actually is cheating. If that's true, then that means that if I simply close my eyes and imagine myself doing it with another person, then that's also cheating, correct?
Well, the way that I would test that is I would ask the spouse, right? I would survey spouses, say, hey, spouses, how would you feel if you knew that right now your partner was thinking about having sex with another woman? Would that feel like he's being faithful to you, or would that feel like he's betraying you? How do you think that most spouses would respond?
I think most people would say that doing that is wrong. However, I don't believe that most people would say that's cheating.
Okay. Why do you think they'd say it's wrong?
Because you should only have that type of feeling towards your partner.
Okay, so if you should, your words, only have that type of feeling towards your partner, then even fantasizing about somebody else would be having a feeling about somebody who's not your partner.
Okay.
And therefore, what would you call that?
Like, what would I call that action?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a specific adjective that I would use for it. I mean, like, other than like immoral or wrong. But I still wouldn't call it cheating though, because in order to be cheating, again, you have to physically do the action.
Okay, so in order to cheat, you have to physically do the action. So when precisely does cheating become cheating?
Yeah, well first, maybe we should have just started off that way and like define cheating. Like, should we just do that?
Sure.
Yeah, so personally, I would define cheating as sexual or romantic relations with another person outside of your relationship.
Okay, sexual or romantic relationships with another person outside of your relationship. Could that be just thoughts?
No.
No. Okay, so therefore, does it have to be physical?
Yeah.
Okay. How physical does it have to be to cross that line?
I would say within reason and intent. So
Okay.
obviously, if we look at extremes such as
So
like
what do you
doing it
think?
with somebody,
What
or
intent
well,
do you think?
I'm trying to explain. Let me
Oh,
explain.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure we can agree that like sex or kissing, obviously that's cheating. However, uh, devil's advocates would then ask, okay, well, what about hugging? What about touching someone's hand? That's why I said within reason and intent, because hugging someone or touching someone's hand isn't always with a sexual or romantic motive.
Okay. So when does cheating become cheating? Is it a physical
just
act, or
explained
is it a thought?
I just explained it to you, bro.
Yeah. So I would say the line is great. I would agree with that. You can have a hug that is clearly across the boundary and a hug that isn't, right? But what if you said the moment that you turn your eyes and your heart away from your partner and put them on another person, would that be cheating? Would that be a betrayal?
So looking at somebody like in a lustful way,
Sure.
I would say no. And
Okay.
again, because that's still not within reason. Like
That's not within reason. Okay.
You would have to be like an extremist to call someone a cheater for like looking at someone. Like, yeah, it's wrong and you shouldn't do it, but it's still an extremist take to call that cheating.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Are you? I know you said you're not married, but are you in a relationship?
It's irrelevant.
Okay. If you were in a relationship, do you think it would be helpful or hurtful to your relationship to be lusting after other women? I'm assuming you're heterosexual.
Hurtful, definitely.
Okay. Why do you think it would be hurtful?
Because if you're, well, you said why is it hurtful to lust after other women?
Well, you said it would be hurtful, and then I asked why you think it would be hurtful.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you mean by lust specifically. So if you're when you say lust as in look, or are you saying lust as in like actually go and have interactions with them? Like, because there's different consequences depending on
Either.
what you're talking about.
Either. Basically,
Well,
if you're
we'd have to
taking
start
your
with- we'd have to
eyes
start with
away,
them.
taking your eyes away from your partner and putting them on another person, lusting after them, imagining things,
Yeah, yeah.
fantasizing about them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So when we're just talking about looking, there's several consequences. So number one, if you're looking at other women, that decreases the amount of time and lust that you have for your own women or for your own woman, and it would also make you more likely to cheat because you have a habit of doing things that insinuate you don't want to be loyal.
Okay. So your thought life can indicate to your partner whether or not you want to be loyal. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm not sure how you came to that conclusion, but sure, I don't disagree with that statement. Yeah,
Well,
I
that's-
just think that again, if you're lusting after women and looking at them for an extended period of time, that's going to increase the likelihood of you cheating on your woman.
Got it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We know that. So what do you think would be okay, so do you think that there's a difference between emotional and physical cheating? Or
I
maybe
think
maybe the real
I think
question
the
I'm
concept.
maybe
I
the
don't
real
agree-
the real question I'm asking is emotional cheating a thing in your point of view?
No, yeah, I don't
Okay,
agree
it's
with,
not. Okay, well,
with
that-
the ideology of emotional cheating.
Yeah, got it.
I understand the reasoning behind it, and I do think it's wrong and immoral, but I wouldn't attach the word cheating to it.
Yeah, got it. So that's that's really where you only see cheating as something that is physical. You don't see it as emotional.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so did you
Yeah,
see the
because-
Coldplay?
Yeah,
Did you
for
see the Coldplay?
for the problems that I brought up though? Because for example, if that was a thing, if emotional cheating did exist, then that would mean that again, if I closed my eyes and pictured myself in a scenario with another person, then doing that would make me a cheater. And again, that's just an extremist viewpoint that I can't agree with. I think
Yeah.
it's wrong, but I don't think that you can label someone a cheater for doing that.
Yeah, got it. Well, I mean, I think that's, you have clarity, right? Is you don't believe in emotional cheating. So, and you're
Yeah, well, I
you're
gave you
saying
my
that's
definition though.
I got
said
it.
sexual or romantic relations with a third party
Well,
outside your relationship.
I got it. Look, I'm fine with whatever you think. Then no problem. But I would say we should be careful with that, because if we're, I'm not going to say that emotional cheating is the same as physical cheating, right? But there's, you go tell a woman or a man who's been on the wrong side of an emotional affair that that's not a thing, you're going to hear some
Well, let me
interesting
ask you
remarks back.
Let me ask you my original analogy one more time. So
Mhm.
if I imagine myself beating up my wife, would that make me a spouse abuser?
I think that's too simple of a question to say yes or no. But I would say that's concerning. That's very concerning. Like, why are you having those thoughts that you're wanting to beat up your spouse?
Yeah, I agree.
And I would
But
be more concerned with.
Don't you think it would be extreme to label me a spouse abuser if I did do that?
I would be more concerned with the condition of your heart.
Yeah.
If
I
that's what
totally
you're
agree,
doing.
bro. I'm just now take that logic and then apply that to this cheating scenario. I think it's the same in both instances.
Yeah. I think the difference, like I said earlier, is if you're viewing pornography, that means that you actually went out of your way to go request and obtain photos or videos of another person for the purpose of masturbating. That's very different than the analogy you're making of, if I just have this thought.
Physically, there's a difference again, but morally, again, there's no difference.
Well, morally, I would say they're both a problem.
But I'm saying morally, they're equivalent. So again, morally, it is perfect. It is exactly equivalent of when you open a computer screen and watch two people doing it as closing your eyes and imagining two people doing it. Those are morally the exact same thing.
And I would say they're both a problem.
Yeah, and again, because they're equivalent, then that means that
I'm not saying they're equivalent. I'm not saying they're
imagining
equivalent.
yourself
Hold on.
doing
I'm not saying they're equivalent. I'm not saying they're equivalent. I'm saying they're both a problem. All right, man. Thanks for sharing. We're going in circles. Nice chatting with you. See ya.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, man. You can go.
W's in the chat for all of our guests. Hey there, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I'm 23.
All right, cool. Is porn cheating?
Well, I actually came on here. I felt like it's kind of a redundant question to ask because it's very nuanced in its person-to-person preferences. Like, everybody has a different view of sexual health and what sex means to them, and you also have to consider people who are asexual and their partners and everything like that, and male, female, boy, girl, whatever you identify as. If you feel like it's cheating, then in your relationship it's cheating. If you and your partner both feel like it's not cheating, in your relationship it's not cheating. I feel like it's as simple as a case-by-case basis, so realistically this could just be a poll where you get yeses or nos. I think generally you can maybe come up with a consensus of, on average in our general population, single women believe watching porn is cheating, or men believe watching porn is cheating, but at that point you're really just polling a general idea of what the population thinks as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. If you don't have an agreement or an expectation that pornography is not used or other people are not used, then it wouldn't be cheating. If you do have an expectation, then it would be cheating. So I agree.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing. You too. Bye-bye. W's in the chat for our guests. L. Someone said L. Hey there, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey there, what's going on?
Yeah, so my question to you is, do you feel like you need qualification to talk about this subject? What makes you think you are qualified to discuss porn? And if you are, then how do you feel about it?
All right. First of all, hi there. I'm Austin. Are you 18 or over?
Yes.
Okay. Is porn cheating?
It just depends on the person, like how they feel about it. I would say, yeah, it could be. It could be.
Got it. Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm in a relationship, but the thing is, I think when it comes to pornography, is that there's times in your relationship that you might desire something like that. And I know a lot of people are closeted, just like they are as a gay person. They don't really expose this kind of behavior because they know that it's not acceptable in a society. They will be judged for it. And so I know there's probably couples, and with the age of the internet, it's so accessible. You can access pornography right from your computer. So I'm sure there's a lot of men staying at home, or it could be women staying at home, and they're accessing it when their partner is away.
Yeah, got it. So do you use, you said you're in a relationship, do you guys use pornography?
No, we never discussed it, but I believe that there are partners that do discuss it, and they find they find that it helps their relationship. It actually might turn them on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because I've been listening to like different shows on the internet, and they ask different questions like this, and there's been men that have talked about, and women that talked about, that they have had many partners, like 100 or even over that. And I think if they accept that, then they definitely would accept pornography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Well, I haven't really heard any. I don't know what there is to agree or disagree about.
So do you agree, like what I'm saying about partners, that they could desire, both of them could
Well, you're basically saying
that they both
people desire different things.
Would there be anything wrong with that?
Well, it depends on wrong with what, right?
Well, what you're talking about, pornography.
Yeah. Well, the question of if it's cheating, like the previous guest, I think it comes down to the agreement in the relationship. But I think that pornography creates a lot of problems in relationships. We know that. A lot of research suggests that. And to your point, there are many people who say that pornography helps their relationship, right? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue with them necessarily, but I would ask the question of what is going on in a couple's intimate life to where they're using pornography or other people as what many people say is like an enhancement to their intimacy.
And honestly, I kind of think like for partners, because they get bored with their partner really easily, especially if they're not doing anything. I mean, from the sounds of it, it seems like, couples aren't lasting long these days. And I think it's because there's
Well, here would be my
a lack of
question. Yeah,
there's
my
a lack
question. Oh, go ahead.
there's a lack of excitement, and so I think
Yeah.
there's like, you come across women that expose themselves and they're very attractive, they got nice bodies, whereas your partner might not have such a nice body, and so that creates insecurity for the woman because she feels like her husband or her boyfriend's going to come across a woman that looks a lot more attractive than she looks, and then she gets it in her mind that he's cheating because she knows that, especially with our phones in our hand all the time, there's always these women coming across as you're on social media, and
Well,
they could
look.
secretly have an account.
Yeah, I got it. Look, here's the thing is, I mean, I'm going to say something that many people might not disagree, or you might not agree with, but I think a good standard to uphold in a marriage, and this is both ways, men and women, is that your partner should be your standard of beauty. Meaning, like you just said, if your partner's no longer attractive or somebody else is more attractive, what's that all about? right? So what if instead we
like I
said my
said,
partner
what's
is
causing-
my
but
standard of
that what
beauty,
could be
as
causing that
opposed
is
to what
the-
the world is saying is the standard of beauty.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's kind of that's why you see a lot of people like, getting their bodies transformed and getting, enhancements because they're not satisfied because they're making
Right.
comparisons.
And what we know about that is oftentimes people get those enhancements and the effect of that enhancement fades over time. Like it doesn't solve any problems.
Right.
Right. So again, it's a deeper heart issue as opposed to just how big or small or
Okay.
tight
And
a
then
certain
and
part
then
is.
and then to you, the question is, did you ever have you ever struggled with watching pornography?
Yeah, I struggled with pornography for about 20 years from when I was a young boy exposed to it when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I brought that into my marriage. I got married when I was 26, and it wasn't until I was about 32 that I came to terms with the fact of, oh, pornography is actually a pretty big problem, robbing me of real intimacy in my life. Because pornography is fake intimacy. It's synthetic intimacy.
Okay.
And all
so
I
why-
wanted, all anybody wants, is to be seen, known, and loved for who they are. Pornography is a counterfeit to that. And how you do one
Okay,
thing
so-
is how you do everything. And using pornography, especially over a prolonged period of time, gets you further away from having true intimacy with a partner.
Okay, so then why did you watch it? Your partner didn't satisfy you?
No, because it has nothing to do with that, whether your partner's satisfying you or not. I started at a very young age, and it became a coping mechanism to not deal with the problems in my life, like anxiety, depression, loneliness, feelings of unwantedness and unworthiness. And that became a tool that I used over my teenage years and my adult years to try to soothe other deeper problems. I was totally unaware of this in my life until I started diving into some of these threads. But once I came to an awareness of that, I was able to say, this has actually very little to do with porn and sex. It has to do with unresolved issues in my heart.
So, okay. And I also believe that another reason why, I don't know, I was just thinking that, like you said, like loneliness. So apparently you didn't have a partner when you were lonely. Otherwise, you probably. But then again, I guess your partner might not be showing you what you want them to show you. And so then that creates.
I mean, I
That
just talked
creates-
about when I was 12 years old. I didn't have a partner when I was 12 years
Oh,
old.
okay. Yeah, and so then sometimes when you're going through adolescence, your libido is very strong at that age, and you have to relieve yourself. Otherwise, that can create a lot of stress on your body. So, not that you need porn for that. So that's
Yeah.
why you did it at such a young age. So it's not really, can't really consider or make a person feel guilty because they're doing that.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
And I
Appreciate
also, oh, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. W's in the chat for all of our guests. By the way, my name is Austin Hamilton. I'm a coach. I help people struggling with unwanted sexual behavior, such as porn or sex addiction, as well as women who are going through partner betrayal trauma. If you're interested in joining a community, an online community that meets together and heals together in community, we'd love to have you. We meet weekly on Tuesday nights or Wednesday afternoons. You can get info in the link in my bio. Whew! Happy New Year, everyone. It's so good to be here. So good to be back. Krista is in the house. What's going on? Danielle is here, was here. Good to see you all. Let's bring on another guest. Hey there, what's going on?
What's happening?
Not much. You 18 or over?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is porn cheating? Hello?
There's levels to this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, there's levels to this stuff. You know, you should know if you're 32. You said?
I'm 40 now. But yeah.
40? Yeah, so
Yeah.
you should definitely know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just levels to this stuff, man. I think it's healthy for, I'm going to speak for males because I'm a male.
How about
I think
you?
it's
How about
healthy
you
for
speak
males
just? How about
to
you
get
speak
that,
just for yourself, as
if
opposed to
they
all
are having
males?
those urges.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah,
How-
no, yeah. I mean,
Could you
can you hear
speak
me?
just for
Yep.
yourself as opposed to all males?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I feel that it's healthy to, not keep stuff pent in. I'm in a relationship. I'm married, happily married. I have 5 children. It's never been a problem. It's something we've talked about before. And, we have a great sexual relationship. I just feel that, I've had personal experiences with people that were coworkers. I had a coworker come to me and he was just depressed and tore up, and he just got back from an LDS mission and he felt so horrible with him. I was like, what's going on with you, dude? And he's like, I have a serious problem. I'm like, okay, like what's going on? And he's like, well, it's sexual. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're not touching kids or nothing, are you? And he's, no, I have a really bad porn addiction. And I was like, oh, well, you're only 21 years old and you don't have a female in your life, and you got to have that form of release. And for him, I would say it became a problem. Like, he broke into our shop and was using our Wi-Fi to, utilize this stuff because he didn't dare use his family's Wi-Fi and get exposed that way. So, I mean, I think he took it to the next level, but at least, I feel like people that are interested in this stuff, they need that release, or they're going to be out here raping people or doing something weird. I think that if you can respect your partner and their own beliefs, if it's a problem with them, then yeah, I guess it's cheating. But I mean, you could go get a prostitute. Anybody can go to any of these massage parlors and take it up a notch. That's cheating. If you're going to sign into an OnlyFans account and start paying for this stuff and sending all your hard-earned dollars that you should be putting into your family, that's cheating. But if you're utilizing free stuff, if you're not clearly ruining your marriage, I don't find that it's cheating. I think it's one of those things that it's, if you're in that space to do it. If not, then maybe you should re-examine your life. Maybe you should go in a different direction. There's people for everybody. And
how often
all
do you
personal
watch
preference.
pornography?
I would say for sure at least once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
Maybe.
And
Yep. Sometimes twice. And it's more of just a lifestyle thing. Like, the wife's asleep, I don't want to wake her up. It just has everything to do with convenience. And if I feel like, and she's never a person to ever turn me down for sex. In fact, she wants it more than I do. So it's a weird thing where it's like, it's interesting because it's, I can do that on my own time, get it done, move on with my day. Great. It makes you feel better. It helps you operate better. You're not sidetracked. I feel like if you keep any of those pent-in tensions, it'll cause more problems than that being the problem itself. And again, there's levels of this stuff. If you're, masturbating frequently, several times a day, if you can't even go to work because of it, or, that's a problem. There's levels. So depending on where you find yourself on that spectrum.
Got it. So a couple times a week, you're using pornography when it sounds like your wife is always available, but it's more convenient to go use pornography as opposed to being with your wife?
Yeah, like if she's basically if she's sleeping, or if she's not around, or if I'm home. Like I own a business and she's a stay-at-home mom and she'll be doing her own thing or whatever. And I've been with her since high school, so we've been together for a really long time. And and we both have cheated on each other, and early on in the relationship. And back then I wasn't really into porn. I was just into, I was a good looking dude. I was a personal trainer. A lot of girls wanted to get with me, and it was easy, you know. It's I guess if you're an attractive male, it's that easy. It's, you know, I don't know, you don't flock towards it like certain guys do, and I guess it could be a problem. But I did cheat on her, and I find that, you know, even the porn thing, it releases this, you know, you don't need to go see anybody else. Have the fantasy in your own head and be done with it. I feel like if maybe the porn wasn't there, I would probably be more prone to find this release with a real person,
Got it.
because I can't.
Got it. So what, I mean, aside from pornography or going and having an affair as a solution, what might actually be going on beneath the surface that you're resolving by using pornography?
What am I solving?
Yeah, what might
Just
what
the
tension
fact
inside
of-
of you might you be resolving by using pornography?
Oh, I just have a lot of testosterone, bro. Like I'm a really high octane male. I mean, I'm just, you know, my testosterone's always just been super high, I guess. I don't take testosterone extra, but it's just,
So high
Yeah, I'm ready to
testosterone.
go
Got it.
every
So
day.
so your solution to high testosterone is masturbating while watching strangers have sex?
yeah, well, you know, it's, yeah, you just, I mean, it's not even just strangers having sex. It's just even attractive females, and, you know, in social media space today, it's like everybody's starting to do porn, honestly. Like, I think porn's a massive epidemic that's happening with people. Like, it's too easy to make that extra money. And I mean, honestly, I'll be scrolling through TikTok and I'll see some hot chicks and I'll be like, huh, I'll throw their name into Google and type in the word nude after their name. Boom. Everybody, I swear, dude, is
So
putting their bodies
you-
out there.
Yeah, I
And
got
it's
it.
too
Do you-
easy to see it.
yeah, do you think that's honoring towards your wife when you're seeing a woman who you think is attractive and then going to seek out nude images of that woman? Is that honoring towards your wife?
Well, I don't know. My wife's really attractive too, so it's not like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm picking on her by looking at other women. I mean, if anything, you know, they're probably in the same, you know, 1 to 10 category. They're probably around the same number, but it's just, I don't have this feeling in my head like, oh, I'm gonna stalk all their socials now. Don't send them friend week. You know, if you're taking it a step further and you're being a weirdo about it and stalking people, that to me is that's a different realm of an issue. But I guess
So-
all I'm saying is it's mentally pleasing to, you know, have that at your fingertips, and we all do. We all have a smartphone in our hand now, and it's too easy. Way
So
too
it's
easy.
it's mentally appealing to go seek out other
Pleasing.
women, mentally pleasing to go seek out other women nude who aren't your wife.
I mean, yeah, I'm a male, dude. Yeah, I find women attractive.
Got
That
it.
doesn't mean I don't find my wife attractive. Doesn't mean I want to leave my wife. Doesn't mean I will cheat on my wife now. Doesn't mean I'll meet one of these internet girls. And
So you said something
I've had
earlier.
people reach
you,
out to me.
you categorize certain types of behavior as weird or disgusting or something like that. At what point does it become weird? Right. So you're a grown man, you know, and
It becomes weird when you spend money on it, your hard-earned dollars. I've
Okay, when you
never
spend money.
spent money on porn ever.
okay.
Yep. It becomes weird if you are privately messaging these people or
Privately
going
messaging.
to
So spending
those
money
live-
for privately
anything
messaging.
live.
Okay. What else?
Yep, private videos, private, you know, if you're watching these people. I mean, I've never subscribed to any OnlyFans. I've never done that. I think that, but again, if you're a single male, more power to you. But if we're talking specifically like married males, like, yeah, I wouldn't advise. You know, that's when it turns into severe problems. That's when your mind starts going into, I need this in real life now. And I don't need that in real life. I'm very content with my life, my wife, my kids, everything's good. And it's just a mental thing where you need a release. And sometimes if she's not available, yeah, I could wake her up and say, hey, you know, and she'd be all for it. But sometimes it's just a convenience thing, and be done with it. Everybody has sexual urges. We're all human.
Yeah, I think the word convenience strikes me as interesting. Just to go seek out other people as a convenience mechanism to go get off or release this extra testosterone, as you described. Curious, I don't know, what else could be there that you're trying to resolve, maybe subconsciously, by going to that as a tool for release. Does your wife watch pornography as well?
No, she doesn't.
Why?
She never has. She's seen it. We've made our own films. We've taken our own pictures, and she looks and watches that stuff, but doesn't find it, she doesn't have that attraction to other males like that all the time. She's just a good mom. That's why I married her, man. She's just really solid.
How would you feel if
That's
you
why I chose her.
Yeah, how would you feel if you found, that she was watching pornography and masturbating while looking at other men?
If she had the same reasonings as me, maybe I'm gone to work or doing projects out of state or whatever, I wouldn't have a problem with that. She doesn't have any toys. She doesn't, she's like the good old lady that waits for me, and she enjoys her time with me.
So she waits for you,
and
but
I
but
appreciate
you
that.
don't.
That's why I love her so
Yeah,
much.
so she's a good old
And
lady that waits
if
for you,
she's special for me.
but
to
you
that.
don't wait for her when you want it. You just go do something to conveniently take care of yourself, as opposed to waiting for her. It sounds like a double standard. Do you see that?
It is a double standard, but it's just she's not as sexually active as me, I guess, in that regards. It's a testosterone thing, and maybe I'm sure there's women out there that are very sexually active too, and I've met a few of them, but they're just they're different people. They're different girls. They're not your housewife.
Got it. All right. How old are you?
But yep, I'm 37.
37. How old were you when you started watching porn?
And she's
Oh yeah, and actually, you're right. Someone in the comments said you
10?
said earlier that she wanted it more than you. Now you're saying the opposite.
Well, she does, like, sex with me, like actual sex. She's very, she likes.
No, I got that. I got that. But
she's never.
earlier you said that, but now you're saying that she doesn't want it as much. Which is it?
Well, she doesn't want it with other, through the outlets of porn and stuff like that. She doesn't care to.
So she only wants it with you, not using other people in porn.
Yeah.
Got it. But you don't only want it with her, you also want it using other people in porn.
Personally, it doesn't set me back, and I don't have any.
I'm not talking about the consequence. Is that the
lust
reality?
to-
Because you indicated that she doesn't go to porn because she only wants it with you. So if the inverse of that were true, with why you're turning to pornography, it's because you don't only want it with her, you're also wanting it with other people in porn.
Well, it's I guess I don't have like a specific girl I keep looking up. It's not like I'm attracted to a specific other female. It's just you get an urge. I'm going to speak for myself. I'm a male. I'm going through life like everybody else, and let's say I'm scrolling TikTok and I happen to see an attractive woman. I'm like, and I type her name into Google, and boom, it's like, holy crap, everybody's doing this now, and it's more of just if I'm sexually attracted to that person that I'm never going to have a connection with in real life, Like, that's not a problem. That's just human nature to become attracted, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself a little bit and having mental clarity afterwards. And that to me is, it feels good to have mental clarity. Like, as a
Got
male,
it.
if you're
And so,
getting bombarded with this type of feeling, then you got to take care of it. It's healthy.
got it. Okay. So what it sounds
Simply
like is
being a person that just
you're turning to pornography and masturbation to help you gain mental clarity as a relief from what's going on with all the responsibilities that you have in your life.
I mean, to me, it's not that serious. It's just a feeling, and I take care of it, and I'm off with my day.
Got
You know, it's not a serious problem. I get how it could be for some people. I get, you know, I definitely get the other side of the fence there, but I feel like for some relationships that's similar to mine, I'm a successful male. I've been with the same woman since high school. I doubt anybody else in these comments could say that. I doubt any of them can say that they've had 5 children with the same person and they're still happily married. Like,
why are
I'm a
you
rare
hold on.
breed,
Hold-
and that's why I feel like,
Why are you comparing to people in the comments?
well, I don't know. I'm just, you know, there's about almost 400 people in here. So I'm talking in terms of, if there's someone who can relate to me that's in the same boat, that's questioning what they're doing is right or wrong, and they feel like a horrible person in their relationship. And, you know, it's just, it isn't always that way. We're just males. We have high testosterone. You get rid of that feeling and you have mental clarity.
Got
Like,
it.
everybody knows it.
Do you think there's other ways that you could deal with that feeling as opposed to pornography?
Yeah, having sex
Okay.
with my wife.
Got it.
I mean, it's a specific feeling, you know, you're a male. Very specific. I can't go play golf. I can't go, you know, hunting. I can't go. Those are different feelings. Those are different, you know, pleasures in life. Like, it's, if you know what you want, that's what you get. And I'm just a male that's always known what I wanted.
Does your wife know that you
I'm
use
not gonna lie to
pornography?
myself. Absolutely.
Got it. Is she there? Can we get her on?
Yep. We have, you know, she can see all data that happens on my phone. I mean, I have nothing to hide. I've never had anything to hide. I'm the most transparent person you'd ever meet. Like, she has full access to everything that's in my life. She just down to everything. I mean,
Is she there right now? Could
It's
we
just
get her
like
on and ask her about your pornography?
she's getting her hair done right now. She's not here.
Got it. How old did you say you were when you started watching porn?
But yeah, just a different perspective. Man. 10.
10. Got it.
I mean, I got exposed to it just from being at a friend's house, and his dad had a bunch of magazines in their room, and we were like, holy cow, you know, and came into it. And I started ripping out pages of their books, and so did my friend, and we kept them private, and that was it. And then, you know, friends would come over. I had a theater in my house, and we'd put on freaking porn on the theater screen and
Got it.
just, you know, hang out and watch it like it was cartoons or something. Like, we wasn't bothered by it, or was more intrigued. And
Interesting.
Well,
You
that's
said you
just
have
how it
5
used to be
kids.
back
Do you have
then.
any 10-year-olds?
Yep.
How would you feel if you walked in on your kids
closest to
watching
that, my
How-
13-year-old son.
Okay.
Yeah,
How-
I have.
how-
I've caught him. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
did you feel then or how would you feel if you walked in and your 10-year-old was watching pornography like it was a cartoon?
Well, you know, I caught him. He's on his laptop and acted all embarrassed, and he was, you know, and then I told him, I said, hey, dude, you know, I said, you know, it's just if you need private time, close your door, lock it, and, you know, I'll try to knock beforehand. And when I just barge in here, because normally it was just, you know, me being a dad and fun. Hey, what are you doing in here? And then once you find out your son's interested in that stuff, it's, you know, it's a boy thing. It's,
Got
you
it.
know,
So you're
boys-
endorsing
there's a
you're
lot of
endorsing
TikTok.
and trying to enable your children to watch pornography?
I'm not endorsing it, but I mean, we
Well, didn't you
have,
say you're what I heard is you're
360
kind of
apps.
like
We have-
you're kind of saying, "Hey, if you're going to do it, just do it in your room. Let me know. I'll knock before." Like you're not
Yeah.
preventing it.
well, that's healthy. I mean, your masturbation.
It's
is
healthy.
normal.
It's
Like,
healthy. All right.
You gotta have that talk. I don't know how many kids you have, but you gotta have a sex talk with your kids at some point.
I only
in
have
life,
3
and I
kids,
feel
so
that-
I'm not as successful as you are, and I've only been married for 15 years, not for 20 years like you. So I'm not as successful as you are. I got a lot to grow into here. Man, look, can I just
Do
offer
you
you?
have kids around that age though?
Yeah, I
You
have a 10-year-old.
like a similar
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old son.
What
Yeah.
what would you feel towards it? Would you? I mean, obviously you're on here activating not watching porn. So how would
Yeah.
you feel if you caught your son that was also like you as a boy that was
Uh-huh.
highly interested in it? How are you going to really stop him from looking at that stuff? Like you have to
Yeah.
work with it with him. You can't just. All I know is after having kids, and my oldest is 19. All I know is you force anything on these kids, they'll do the opposite.
Yeah.
That's all I
Well,
know.
first of all, I would, and what I have done is I have educated my children about the harmful effects of pornography, especially on the young developing brain. There's really no question about that pornography is harmful to the brain and particularly the young developing brain. There's a great book called Your Brain on Porn by Gary Wilson that talks about the harmful effects of pornography, especially at a young age. And so I've read, books. There's a book called Good Pictures, Bad Pictures for children that I've read to my kids that educate about pornography and the harmful effects of it, teaching them what to do, not if, but when probably they're exposed to pornography. I'll tell you what I certainly won't do is teach them how to do it more in private, because that would be like me offering a hardcore drug to my children, and I'm going to protect my children from that to the best of my ability. Further, teaching a healthy sex education is something that I am striving to do with my children. And something that we know about pornography is that it's a very bad teacher about sex and sexuality. It's probably the worst way to teach about sex and sexuality. And so having a educational
what does it
conversation
really-
with my children about their bodies and arousal and desire and masturbation when the time comes are conversations that I have
where do
had
you
and
draw
will
the line
continue
as
to
porn?
having, as opposed to introducing them to pornography. Where do I draw the line to porn? Pornography is imagery, usually
what is
depicting
porn?
an
Like-
organ or multiple organs of a person with the erotic intent to arouse.
So let me ask you this, since you admitted to having, being heavily involved into this as a young age, tell me that you've never masturbated to something that these bodies weren't naked. They were just maybe a Sports Illustrated or, softcore stuff. What about that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, anything
I remember.
can get a male off.
I remember
mean,
finding
gee.
the Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions at my grandma's house on the weekends when we would stay there.
Yeah.
But the problem,
That's not
for-
porn.
I was using it as porn. The bigger
That's what I'm
conversation,
saying.
though,
It's where-
yeah,
where-
well,
where is
totally.
the line drawn?
I think that's the wrong question. Is where's the line drawn? Because what the intent of what I'm hearing you asking that question is, what should I give to my children to use as pornography? I think the better way to look at it is, how can I educate
No,
my
not that you should
children
give it to
to have a healthy sexual ethic? Because here's the thing, pornography teaches us and reinforces us to objectify people and reduce them down to sexual objects for our selfish sexual pleasure. And that can set us off on a whole other trajectory in life to where we grow up and we're 30, 40, 50 years old, and we're turning to pornography as a way, and no, I'm not saying this just because of what you said, but as a way to soothe what's going on the inside, as opposed to actually dealing with some of the underlying issues in our life. And that is my hope with my children, that they can learn more healthy ways to deal with what's going on in their heart, as opposed to turning towards sex or masturbation to do so.
So if you're, let's say hypothetically, your son is attracted to females at a young age too, and decides
I
to
hope
take
he
out
is.
this
I
release
hope he
on
is.
non-pornographic images.
Uh-huh.
But how do you keep engaging somebody that also has high testosterone? Like, I'm just saying this, like my son, I'm just putting him in my shoes. I would have, if my parents would have came to me and was like, you know, trying to police my masturbation somehow. Honestly, it'd just be so weird.
You're
It would
conflating
never work. Like,
you're conflating pornography use with pornography use and masturbation. They are different things. Okay, but look, just notice, I would say that pornography is in the category of something that is not good for you. Okay, just to reduce it down to something very simple. That's like saying, hey, my kid just wants to feel good a lot. He just really wants to feel good and be happy. So I'm going to give him, make available to him alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and whatever he wants, I'm just going to let him have so that he can feel better and feel happy all the time.
yeah, but
Right?
where I don't agree with you is I get what you're saying and bringing all these unethical things in the picture, but masturbation is like,
We're not
part
talking
of
about
being
masturbation,
human.
bro. We're
It's-
not. You're
it's-
you're again conflating them. Masturbation and pornography with masturbation are different things. Just masturbating
So
is
it's
its
okay
own
to masturbate
conversation.
without pornography. So that's what you're telling me? It's okay to masturbate, but just without the pornography?
I'm not going to decide for you whether it's okay or not okay, but what I would say is it's possible to only masturbate as opposed to using pornography while masturbating. And again, what
But
we
if you
know,
were- so look,
at least based on the
hindsight for
literature
you-
that I read, is that pornography is not helpful, right? So what if it was just masturbation? If we were talking about just masturbation, this is a whole different conversation.
So you agree with masturbation at any age?
I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with it. I'm saying it's different. For the sake of this conversation, it's different. So yeah, like
but
this
it's
person
just
said, masturbation
the
is normal,
images of
pornography
porn.
is not.
Got it. So it's just the images of porn where this crosses the line.
For the sake of this conversation, that's what we're talking about. Yes. If you want to separate it out and go down masturbation, that's a whole nother conversation. But first, I guess what I would establish is pornography helpful or hurtful, both to the young developing mind as well as intimacy within a committed romantic relationship? And again, based on the literature that I read, the overwhelming answer is it's harmful both to the individual and to the couple, right? But now again, going back to children, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like my kids are never going to see pornography. They will. But what happens when that happens, and how can I help have a sexual conversation with them before it gets to that point? There's a book that I'm reading called The Sex Talk You Never Got, which is a really good book, just inviting us
Did
into
you
our
ever
own.
have a sex talk with
No,
your
man, I'm
parents?
about the same age as you. I'm 40, and this I don't recall actually having a sex talk with my parents. And I think that something that we know, our generation
when did you
knows
become
is
sexually active, like with a female or whatever?
I was sexually abused in my late teenage years, and then my
Got it.
later teens and early 20s. There was a little promiscuity in there, but not that it's a contest. But I would say I hid behind a lot of shame in a lot of what I was dealing with. So, and again,
Sorry
even
to hear
pornography. Yeah, pornography can be a setup. At least it was for me to sexual abuse as well. Because again, it creates unrealistic expectations. So when that scenario was created for me in real life, oh my gosh, this thing could happen. This is what I've seen in pornography. This is how it's supposed to
Do you feel
happen.
that you're so passionate because something like that happened, and you felt like maybe because you went into this porn addiction, that's what kind of brought that situation out, and that's why, like, you felt like you were kind of sexualized on your own and
Yeah,
kind
well,
of
well, I think for you, man, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, because I was very similar. Up until 32 years old, I was completely unaware of, one, why did I turn to pornography and masturbation? What was I trying to resolve underneath? Two, the harmful effects of it, both on me, my wife, as well as if you look at how pornography is made. And three, if you look at it as from the standpoint of we're dehumanizing other people, objectifying other people, I realized that I was doing that in every aspect of my life. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so now, yes, I am very passionate about it because I believe, and research has proven this, that not using pornography leads to healthier relationships. And so I like to invite people into maybe a different awareness, just like I was unaware until I was 32 years old, that maybe there's more here. Maybe it is a little questionable behavior to sit at home alone when I've got a beautiful woman next to me and I'm just sitting there masturbating while watching strangers have sex. Maybe there's more to that than what on the surface it might seem. And for me, there certainly was. And for many people, there always is. I would say there's always something beneath it. Any man who's masturbating while watching strangers have sex, beneath that is a story that's dying to be told.
I mean, the closest thing I can relate off the top of my head, full honesty, I mean, I don't have anything to hide. It's just purely, it's something different. It's just a different body, different vibe, a different character.
Man, I got it. But listen to what you're saying in the context of a married man. What I'm hearing, and I'm not saying this to condemn you, but it's like, oh, I'm kind of getting bored with my wife and what we're doing, so I need a different person doing different things to help spice it up. Notice that's your solution to it. And what I would invite you into is, what about you turn towards your partner as opposed to running away from her and saying, hey, what's going on in our life? And it's not just about sex, but what's going on in our life to where the spark is kind of dying out. I could tell, man, there's no question that you're passionately in love with your wife. Like, I am 0% questioning that for you.
And the spark is totally there. Like I said, the only time it's like, it's a convenience thing. It's that's it. That's all.
Yeah. So the way that you're resolving that, I think it's deeper than that convenience, by the way. I'm not going to unpack that with you here right now, but my intuition, man, and the couples I work with, the individuals, I don't know what. No, I'm saying I don't know what it is, but I think it's deeper than convenience. Okay, but if I was working with you, I would want to explore that.
Yeah, and that's why I said it in the context I did. I've been with my wife since high school. We're still together. I mean, it's like I said, the spark is still there. Like I've watched porn all these years, and it's never deviated my loyalty to my wife.
Well, I got it. And
after I cheated on her, I'm not saying I was perfect. Neither was she.
That
was at the very beginning.
Yeah, I would invite you to look at where the both and may be there. I get it that you're saying it's never deviated you, but look at maybe from the perspective of what potential level of intimacy could we have attained if there wasn't a wedge of pornography between us, a wedge of false intimacy, which I'm asserting that pornography is false intimacy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're at least once or twice a week turning to other women, turning to women's bodies and what they're doing to satisfy something in you out of convenience. But I think that there's something more there, right? Like just like smoking a cigarette, right? Smoking a cigarette, it's not just about that high. There's something going on in the person who's turning towards a cigarette that they're wanting to resolve. And the cigarette provides that momentary sense of relief. Similar to what pornography provides. Does that make sense?
It's just, the only thing I can explain is just, you have that urge. It's a testosterone. It's all of a sudden you feel, like you just need that type of release. It's not any other form of like, I don't need to go drink a beer.
I got it. Look, let me read something to you. This passage in this book, To Be a Man, kind of reminds me of what you're saying. That he doesn't use the word testosterone, but as opposed to being very sexual. But he talks about how we eroticize our wounds, meaning there's some wounding typically going on beneath the surface, and we think that sex is the way to resolve that. He says, Paul assumes that he's very sexual because he has sex or masturbates 2 or 3 times daily. He is chronically anxious and edgy, often feeling saturated or overloaded with fear and anger. Rather than working with this, so rather than working with the feelings underneath the surface, he channels his surplus emotional excitation into his sexuality, finding considerable energetic release through doing so, using his ejaculatory capacity as a kind of discharge valve for his unwanted emotional energies. In this, he is reducing his sexual partner to little more than an outhouse for the energies of his anxiety and anger. He is, in short, eroticizing his need to rid himself of his emotional tension, while viewing himself, perhaps with pride, as having a very strong sexual drive. So essentially what he's saying in that passage is many people, many men say, oh, I just have a lot of testosterone, or I just have a high drive. But what he's presenting there, the author in this book, is saying maybe there's something else going beneath the surface that's hiding behind this, oh, I just need to get a release. Does that land with you at all?
It doesn't, and only because it sounds like a person that just, I don't, it sounds like a different type of person that doesn't enjoy having sex with their wife like I do. Like I could resonate more with that if I was being, telling you I didn't enjoy having sex with my wife, or if she wasn't attractive, or if there was a precursor there to this underlying issue. And that's the only thing I can conclude is that I just have a lot of testosterone. I get, you get stimulated, and it just, I don't have those urges to cheat on my wife any longer or anymore. I'm past that age. I'm past the party phase. I'm past the let's go hang out with the boys phase. Like, I'm well out of those phases. And I think that that's what builds a strong relationship. You almost, if you have those urges, you have to kind of dig into them a little bit earlier than later, I think, or you're going to set yourself up for some midlife crisis or feeling like you never got to, whatever. But I mean, me and my wife's sexual relationship is very healthy. It's not weird. It's not like we're into some weird shit, like tying each other up or nothing weird. Like, it's normal. We just have normal. We're very passionate with each other. Very
have you explored your urges?
As far as urges, I don't, it's just like I said, I was honest. You scroll TikTok, you find random people, you look them up. If that's who you want to see naked, I guess that's all you got to do is Google their name. It seems like,
yeah, man,
nowadays.
but there's a meaning beneath that though, where you're seeking, you're surfing around looking for some random woman who piques your attention, and then you can go investigate what more there may be, and you're trying to chase that woman being nude. There's something there, man.
I guess it's not like I don't really get turned on by like existing porn stars. Like, that's not very attractive to me. I find it kind of gross and disgusting. Like, just the repetitive use of that person is not attractive to me. Personally, I like
listen to your language. Listen to your language.
I've never seen before.
Listen to your language. The repetitive use of that person. The repetitive use of that person.
Yep.
Forget about them. Notice how you're languaging the behavior that you would participate in. The repetitive use of that person.
Yep.
How does that sound to you?
Well, it's somebody that's in porn. That's what they signed up for their job.
Forget about them. Forget about them. Forget about them. Why do you repetitively use people until it gets uninteresting to you?
I don't repetitively use people, and I prefer people that I've never seen before. Like, I like to know that this person isn't a true slut or a true, that to me is more attractive. I don't get off on watching your mainstream porn star girls. It is not attractive to me whatsoever.
So what is attractive then?
Good looking girls that you know, like I said, it's just like a pandemic of things that's happening. It seems like every girl's willing to throw her nudes online nowadays. Honestly, it's way prevalent. And you know, these girls are attractive, and you look them up and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, that's it, and then you're done. If I took it a step further and I tried to intrude on their socials or send them a request or something and private messaged them and offered them money to send me more or some, you know, that's weird. Starting to dabble into weird realms.
Got it. So
That's
that's
why I said there's
weird.
levels to this.
But the behavior that you're engaged in is not weird.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Could we
stepping
ask?
out
Could
of
we
my
ask the
marriage.
chat?
I'm not-
Could we ask the chat what they think?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't
All right.
read the chat. Let's see what's going on
Chat.
here.
What do you guys think about his behavior?
It's weird.
It's weird. That is stepping
His
out.
Poor wife.
His poor wife. He
Yes,
seems like a
it's
nice
weird.
dude. How do you know these women don't have a high body count? Disgusting, not okay. Yeah, that's cheating. Wrong, it's bad. The behavior you do is also weird. He's a cheater. He's gross. He's delusional. I think it's weird. I don't like it. Wrong. No self-discipline. Poor wife. It's cheating. Narcissistic.
Yeah.
Objectifying.
Well, and you know,
So-
I'm sure a lot of these women have had situations where it didn't work out so well for them. Maybe they
so
felt
bro,
less of
bro, just hold on.
person.
Just notice the feedback you're getting here. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but just notice. We've been talking
Yeah.
for about 40 minutes. Notice the type
Yep.
of feedback you're getting from people based on what you've been sharing here.
Okay.
So
I mean, yeah, but like I said, dude, I feel like I'm a rare breed. I'll bet none of these people can come through and say that they've been with the same person since high school, have children, and are still happily married and watched porn this whole time. I'm just saying, some of us out here are real good dudes or real good women, and they have that sexual desire and they can release it appropriately without being a weirdo and spending their family's hard-earned money or pursuing real life people in person or going to, you know, anywhere to pay for sex. It's too easy nowadays. I find that my behavior is totally acceptable because I've managed to hold my family together and with my wife, and there's no weird agendas. I don't have future lusting hidden things going on in my head where I feel like, oh well, one day I'm gonna leave her and go bang 10 girls, or, you know, I don't have it in me, but maybe other people. And I apologize if I've gotten under the skin of some women who have been treated differently because of it. Maybe, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own story. Everybody lives a different life. Everybody's exposed to different things at different ages, and it's how we handle them and move forward. Life is what you make it. You gotta wake up every day and pursue that happiness. If your partner isn't making you happy, leave him, leave her, find someone else, be happy. Life is short. We're only here for a very short amount of time. Most of these people that are watching now, your life's half over. Like, if you're not happy, you got to be happy. And if masturbation makes you happy, do it. If whatever you feel like makes you happy, do it. Nobody else should be able to tell you to limit your happiness.
is this a message? Is this a
Everybody's
message?
person.
Is this a message you would tell your children as well? Do whatever you want to make you happy, no matter what.
I would support my children with whatever they want to do.
Okay,
Personally,
well,
I mean,
bro, that's just
that's
you know
just the kind of guy I am. I'm not saying I'm going to support
Well,
them doing
I
heroin
guess-
and crack and cocaine.
I guess we've already
all the
established
bad
that.
stuff you can.
I guess we've already established that because you said you basically try to create situations for your children to watch pornography. But yeah, we're going
No,
around in circles
I've
now.
never created a situation for them to watch pornography ever. I can't monitor my children's 24/7. Like, that's just impossible. Everybody wants to be a perfect parent, but that's just not how reality works. Like, if they want to look at something, they're going to look at it. You can't stop it. And it doesn't have to be porn. You admit it yourself. That's all I'm saying.
I absolutely can stop what my children watch in my household. And that is my duty as a parent
Good
to
luck,
make sure
brother. Good luck.
to make sure that they
You have no idea the extent I've gone to prevent this stuff, and it's impossible. I'm telling you, it's impossible.
That's where we'll disagree.
I
All right, man. Hey,
guarantee
thanks
if I
for
shared
thanks for
some
sharing.
private
Thanks for sharing. I
stories-
gotta get going.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll see you, man. Take care. Bye bye.
Yep, have a good one.
All right, chat. Hey, W's in the chat for all of our guests. Great being with you. I do have to go because we're going roller skating. So I'm probably gonna, next time you see me, I'll probably have a broken elbow or something like that because big men fall hard. Big men fall hard. And yeah. We'll see if they have skates in size 15 though. We'll see. Give me a follow if you guys don't follow me already up there. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. I help men who are struggling with unwanted sexual behavior, as well as women who are going through partner betrayal trauma. I have groups that meet weekly. If you're looking for a supportive community to heal through the pain of betrayal as a woman, or to heal from the root of the issues to why you are watching pornography, then consider scheduling a call with me. It's $1 for a 30-minute call, and we can talk about your situation and if I may be able to be of help. And if not, watch my lives. Somebody said, do I talk about betrayal? Yeah, depending on whatever the guests give me, that's what we talk about. So yes, we talk a lot about betrayal trauma, and the book I like to follow for that is called The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. We largely follow that book in my coaching. Again, we meet on Tuesday nights as well as Wednesday afternoons. We have a great community. If you're going through this, no matter what age, if you're in your 20s and you're just trying to figure this out, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you've been married for a long time, my groups can be helpful for you. I also do private coaching with couples and individuals if you're interested in that. Great being with you all today. It's a pleasure. How much are the calls after that? The info's on my website. I'm priced like a specialized therapist would be. And I'm also price sensitive to people who are in different situations. So we can have a conversation if money is an issue. Great being with you all today. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours, nobody else's. It's always your choice if you're going to have a great day or not. Hi, Callie. Good to see you. And Adam. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.